What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and I am here today with the week's hottest topics. This is going to be for the week of, I don't know which week this is just yet. This is the week of September 28th through October 2nd. So, without further ado, let's just talk about what has happened in this week's news or hot topics, shall we? All right, you guys. So the first thing that I just want to go ahead and talk about, get it out of the way, the presidential debate that happened on Tuesday. That was 90 minutes of a complete shit show. No other way to put it, but that was a shit show. I cannot believe that I actually sat through 90 minutes of that shit. My nerves were on edge so badly. Like, I don't know how I sat there and watched that in its entirety. It was terrible. Like, I mean, I expected it to be bad, but I just didn't expect it to be as bad as it was, especially with YSAP and Joe Biden. I just did not expect that. I didn't expect that level of madness, but I knew it was going to be bad. You know, it was so bad. It was like the moderator, Chris Wallace. I don't know who was debating who, because 1 minute WhatsApp is coming out Joe Biden, the next minute he's coming at Chris Wallace. I'm like, who the hell are you debating? Like, it made no sense to me. Like, he was up there doing his normal thing, acting like a petulant child, also acting like a bully. He was lying, he was deflecting. It was just so much shit going on that day. I still, my anxiety got up. Like, I felt myself getting sick. I'm like, oh my God, you are letting, like, it's just so terrible. I'm like, you already hate the man, and you let that bother you, the fact that you hate him so much. And it bothers me also because my grandmother taught me as a kid, you don't say that you hate anybody, but when it comes to him, I have to pray to God that he forgives my heart, because it's just, I hate the man. The man is an idiot. He's an imbecile. It's just so much with him. But the fact that he just kept, you could hear certain things that Joe Biden was saying about his, what he was trying to do, but with YSAP, he never answered any questions straight on. He never answered it. He always even if he didn't answer it, he half answered it, and then he flipped it to another subject. Like, he definitely didn't answer the questions about, race relations or anything like that. He didn't answer the question about what he has done for the African American community. There was a lot. He half answered the questions about his taxes. He answered them. He lied. He said it'll be ready soon. It'll be ready soon. I paid billions in taxes. I paid billions in taxes. Whereas the New York Times, they are reporting that in 2016, 2017, when he took office, he only paid $750 in taxes. What? This man is really trying to buy a second term so that he doesn't have to, face the consequences of everything that has come out over the last 3.5 years of this presidency, because he doesn't want to go to jail. You guys, I'm once again not going to tell you guys who to go out there and vote for. The only thing that I'm going to say is just go out there and do your civic duty and vote. That is the only thing that I can say and stress, is just go out there and vote. The other thing that caught my attention was the fact that he still continues to call, COVID-19, he wants to call it the China plague. No, bitch, it is the Trump virus, because you knew about it and you didn't tell the American people about it. So this is on you. You want to, like I said, you want to continue to blame China, but you knew about it. You didn't do anything about it, and people have died on your watch. And like I said in a previous video, he loves to say what will happen in Joe Biden's America, but currently this is Trump's America. So answer those questions. And I know next week I think next Wednesday it is that Kamala and Pence have a debate. I don't think I'm gonna watch. I don't know that I can watch that either. I don't know that I can watch it because I know there's another debate with these two at a town hall. At that point, you guys, I am going to have to respectfully bow the fuck out. After this whole debacle, it was terrible. Like, I know people are, the political pundits are, placing blame on both of them, but I mean, yes, Joe Biden called him a fool, he called him a clown, and he told him to shut up. But I mean, what can you say to someone so blatantly ignorant? Like, nothing. So I don't know if there was a true winner, but I know who a true loser was. Why is that? And then, he was asked to denounce white supremacy. If anyone out there who is black still supports him, I want you to explain to me. Actually, no, you don't have to explain nothing. You don't have to tell me nothing because I don't care. I just don't understand why anybody who looks like me will still support him after he refused to denounce white supremacy. And I know people on social media saying, well, he's denounced white supremacy before. Okay, if you say so. If you say so. What else? Yeah, if you say he's denounced white supremacy, that's on you. But he didn't. In this debate, he didn't denounce white supremacy. What he said was to the Proud Boys, stand back and stand by. But it's some people that are defending him, like he's saying he misspoke. I know Junior saying he misspoke, but no, he didn't. He did not misspeak. He said what he meant to say. And then the fact that he had the audacity to say that racial sensitivity training is in itself racist. Really? Yeah, he's a dumbass through and through. Once again, like I said, you guys just get out there and do your civic duty. I'm not telling you guys who to vote for. I'm just telling you guys to vote. I'm just stressing that it is very important to vote. And it's not only important to vote for a president, it's also important to vote for those who, in your local community, in your local area, your local government, that's also important. And I'll discuss that in a few minutes, why it's important to, know who you guys are electing in your local areas. But let's move on. All right, you guys. So since we're in the political realm, which this topic has sort of become political, let's talk about Breonna Taylor. So it happened. This came out on Monday that one of the jurors took steps of filing a court motion to make the transcripts, to make the transcripts of the grand jury deliberation public and allow its members to speak publicly about how they unfolded, according to the New York Times. The grand jury deliberations are subject to strict secrecy, and the evidence they consider usually only becomes public in court if there's prosecution. Now, there's an unnamed juror. The unnamed juror claimed that, Attorney General Cameron had misrepresented the jury's case to the public, and that the jurors were never given the option to indict officers Mattingly and Cosgrove. Now, if this is true, this would appear to undermine Cameron's claim that Taylor's death was legally justified, which, again, to this day, I don't understand how that woman's death was legally justified. When it's also been coming out, it's reports coming out that the bullet that was in one of the cop's legs was not from Breonna Taylor's boyfriend's gun. It was actually friendly fire from one of his fellow officers. And again, I'm so over people trying to vilify her and him, talking about the fact that he was shooting at the cops. Well, the cops announced themselves when there are 12 witnesses, and 11 of them said that they didn't hear the cops announce themselves. And like I've said in previous videos, even if the cops did announce themselves, if you live in a not so safe, not so good neighborhood, you have to worry about people potentially breaking into your home and trying to rob you. How do I know this is in one of those situations? anybody can kick in my front door and announce themselves as the police. Doesn't necessarily mean that they're the police. Hell, we see people who do this all the time, who impersonate police all the time, pull people over, try to arrest people, try to give do and have ill intentions when they do that. We see that quite often, that people impersonate the cops. So what's to say somebody didn't go to a store, buy a costume, or just pretend to be a cop? Like, somebody just knocked down my door, police come in. Oh, I'm not the police. I'm just here to rob your bitch ass with a gun. So what is he supposed to do in that case? Oh, he's supposed to just sit there and get robbed? Like, he doesn't. I mean, this just doesn't make any sense to me. The fact that just doesn't make any sense to me. I'm over people trying to vilify her. I'm over people saying that her boyfriend was wrong. I'm over this whole case. I just I wish that there was true justice for her, but at this point, I see it. There's not going to be any justice for Breonna. So, and this is a reason why I was just saying, with the local election, make sure you guys know who you're voting for, because these people are supposed to, be there for us in our communities. So, just know, I'm not saying black people. I'm just saying I don't know why I did that, but these people are supposed to be here to, defend and protect their constituents. So in a local election, as well as a presidential election, just know who you guys are voting into these offices. Your judges, your county clerks, the constables, all that stuff. Know who you guys are voting in. So it was also said that Attorney General, his name is Daniel Cameron, he filed a motion to delay the release of audio recordings related to the Breonna Taylor case on Wednesday. Surprise, surprise, not. It's adding to a mounting list of questions that follow the grand jury's decision to charge only one of the three officers involved in the young woman's death. Now, Cameron had requested a week to redact the names and personal information of witnesses and private citizens from the 20 hours of audio recordings which he'd been ordered to submit to court by noon on Wednesday. Daniel Cameron, you are a bitch, sir. No other way to put that but a bitch. Like, bitch made as fuck. All skin folk ain't kinfolk. He is skin folk. Like, literally. I'm gonna move on because I'm getting pissed talking about this, so we just gonna move the hell on. All right, you guys. The next thing that I want to discuss is going to be about Nene Leakes, Wendy Williams, and Andy Cohen. Okay, so if you guys did not know, which you probably know by now, that this past Sunday, Wendy Williams was on Watch What Happens Live with Andy. And, they were talking about Potomac. They were talking about Atlanta, the fact that Nene is not returning to Atlanta. And, Wendy gave her 2 cents and her opinion about it. And, she was talking about the fact that, Nene has other things that's in the works. But she also feels that Nene will eventually be back to Bravo. And, she's like, not counting her pockets or anything, but what does she have? She also said that, which this is true, that Housewives is actually a good platform for the women. They get to promote their businesses and whatnot. I mean, look at what Candy has done on Housewives, OLG, the Candy Factory, Bedroom Candy, even with Portia, her Go Naked Hair, even with Kenya Moore Hair Care. Cynthia's products, I mean, I know she's done her cargo line, but I don't know what it's actually doing. I know she promoted it on Steve Harvey. Even with the likes of Lisa Vanderpump, she had Vanderpump Rules TV show. She got Sir, she got Pump. She got Sir, Pump, and Villa Blanca. Bethany Frankel, who I don't really care for her, but Bethany has her skinny girl margaritas and everything. So they do come on there and they do promote their brands. The one thing that I will say about Nene that differs from the likes of Candy, the likes of Bethany, the likes of Vanderpump, who else has a line that I felt like they would be successful even if they weren't on the show? God, as much as her cabaret annoys the shit out of me, Luann. I feel like, people for some reason go see Luann do cabaret. I don't know why, but they do. I can't think about it. Tori's got her cookbook, but I don't think she can survive off of that. I'm not counting her money, but yeah. So the thing that differentiates Nene from those women is they have multiple streams of revenue. They've been very successful outside of, Housewives franchise. Nene did have her swag boutique, but you guys know that with COVID, that actually shut down. So she doesn't have that. She might be online. And I'm not saying that Nene is going to be destitute without Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm just saying, it's probably going to affect her, it's going to affect her a little bit, but probably not that. Well, I can't say that because they make a pretty good penny over there at Housewives and Bravo. But, then Wendy went on, and I'm thinking to myself, when Wendy kept talking about her, I'm like, damn, does Nene really consider this woman her friend? Because, we had already saw earlier in the summer when, when Nene called Wendy on live and Wendy went on her show the next day and blasted the shit out of her. And I was thinking to myself then, like, how do you consider this woman your friend? She's proven to you she's not your friend. So Wendy went on to say that, if they gave Nene a show about her family, that's boring. If they gave her a show about her being a grandmother, that's boring. If they gave her a show about she and Greg, that's boring. I'm like, well, damn. Like, you can tell her that damn, why you got to say this on camera if that's your girl? And then I started thinking to myself, I'm like, how is that so boring when we have a whole show about Kim Zolciak and her family, and that is still on the air? They actually just a few weeks ago started showing not the trailer, but the little teaser for Kim's show saying it is going to return in October. So how is a show with Nene going to be so boring? But Kim Zolciak has been doing that for how many seasons? I don't know how many seasons this show's been on the air, but they've been doing it for quite some time. So I didn't understand how she could say that Nene would be boring, but Kim's not boring. Okay. Now, Nene, the next day, she went onto her Instagram, not her Instagram, but her YouTube page, and she let Andy and Wendy have it. She kept calling Andy a racist. She said that they were both using her for ratings for their shows because their ratings are very low. Now, I will say, though, Watch What Happens Live ratings, they do have some low ratings. So I'm not going to lie about that. Watch What Happens Live ratings are very low. But I don't know about Wendy's ratings. I don't keep up with Wendy like that. But she said that they were using it for her ratings. She called, like I said, she once again called Andy racist. Now, I know if Nene ever wanted to come back to Bravo, like, you just burnt those bridges. Literally burnt those bridges. Now, what she said about Wendy, I was like, damn, that was low. But she went deep. She told Wendy that she needs to drain those enormous legs and thighs and found herself the nearest water pill. I was like, oh, wow. And this was a 7-minute rant. Yeah, Nene, I think, I get it, she's frustrated. She said that Bravo pushed her out and everything. I get that she's frustrated. But you can say this to Greg. Like, you can call some of your girlfriends that you got, like, ugh. But okay, if that's how she felt she needed to get her point across, you definitely did that. But let's move on. All right, you guys, and then next, let's discuss the situation with Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez. Before I even just deep dive into that, I want to say congratulations to Megan. I think she just got a new Revlon campaign, and she's also going to be the musical the guest artist, on this Saturday's premiere of Saturday Night Live. So congratulations go out to Megan for those two things that she's done. Congratulations to her. Tory Lanez, whatever you want to call this nigga, Daystar. That is an interesting fucking name, Daystar. I would have never guessed that the nigga's name was Daystar. So he is a bitch made ass nigga. Like if I ain't never saw a fuck boy in my life, that's him. So he made a whole ass diss record last week. Well, he dropped it last week. I don't know when he made this shit. I, however, have not listened to it. I don't have any intentions of listening to it because I'm supporting Meg. I know he's denying the fact that he shot her, but who else was in the car with her? Like, we've ruled out the other two, her best friend Kelsey and is it the bodyguard, whatever he is. We've ruled those two out. You got a gun charge, so it's safe to say that you did it, but whatever. At this point, I'm going to kill this story. We're not going to talk about it anymore. After this story is dead as fuck. Like, if anything comes out, I am not going to discuss it because I'm just over this whole situation. At this point, like he had tweeted or he was on social media and he was talking about that, at 9 p.m. I think it was last Thursday that he would, talk about it. And I know in the record, because I saw most of the stuff I saw in the Shade Room last Friday as I was getting ready to post last week's, edition of the week's hottest topics, and I was listening. He was talking about Masika. He was talking about Dream Doll, who I don't know her that well. I just know her from Love and Hip Hop. He was talking about Dream Doll. He was talking about J.R. Smith, which J.R. Smith made a clap back at him on social media. He talked about JoJo. He talked about is her name Kehlani? He talked about her, them taking him off their albums and not really knowing what happened. But my thing with Tory Lanez is the fact that, okay, it's one thing to say that you didn't do it, but the other thing is that you waited months to say something, because didn't this happen back in June or July of this year? And we're in October, we're at the end of, when this came out, this was the end of September going into October. So you waited months. The whole summer has gone by. You were mute, but you never said anything until now. Why? And then you released this shit the day after the whole thing happened with the Breonna Taylor case. Now, I know he said it's either the anniversary, it's his mother's birthday or the day that she died. And that's the way that you want to respect your mother? I would never. I mean, my mom's birthday is September 19th, and the day that she died is March 19th, my grandmother's birthday. But I would never do anything to disrespect my mom on her birthday or the day that she died. Like, that's the day that I want to remember the woman who meant the most to me in this world. Why would you do some dumb shit like that? It would have been just better if the nigga just had sat the fuck down and stayed the fuck quiet and just shut the fuck up. I don't even care if he lost deals or whatever. Shut the fuck up, nigga. If you ain't gonna tell what really happened in that car, do me, you, and the rest of the world a favor and just shut the fuck up. Put your lips together. Shut the biggest hole in your face. Do whatever you gotta do. I'm done. We're gonna move on. Well, I thought we were gonna move on. I guess we're not moving on now. All right, you guys. So the next story that I want to talk about is what happened over there on Fox Soul with Claudia Jordan, Vivica A. Fox, Selena Johnson, and Lisa Ray. That shit was hilarious. So I don't forget what day it was, but it was Lisa Ray's birthday this week, and I don't know if it was a happy birthday for Lisa Ray, because the girls over at her show, I actually don't know what the name of the show is called. I always see them when they post clips on the Shade Room about the show. Again, like I said, I just don't know if that was a true happy birthday for my girl, Lisa Ray. So the girls called themselves surprising her with her sister, DeBrat, coming on the show. It was a surprise, all right. I don't know if it was a surprise for Lisa or if it was a surprise for, actually it was a surprise for everybody. It was a surprise for Lisa, but it was also a surprise for those girls, her reaction to them bringing her sister on. Now, looking at it then when I saw it, it was like, it was a little bit it was cringeworthy, but I was like, it was kind of funny. But then when I think about it, I'm like, that ain't funny. Like, they're sisters. I get it. Lisa is upset about the fact that they haven't talked in months. This was before COVID. And she felt some type of way about having to find out through the blogs about her sister, coming out and being in a relationship with, the real BB Judy, Jessica Dupart. I understand that. I do understand that. And, I just don't know if that was necessarily the right medium or the right setting to have that that terrible conversation when she told the girls, she didn't give a fuck what they thought. And they were like, well, shit, fuck us. Like, I don't really know how to, like I said, I feel like Lisa could have played it a little cool. She didn't have to mention it on air, but I guess since the brat was already there, she's like, shit, let me address this shit head on. I feel like, she could have been like, thank you for coming on, sister. It's nice to see you. But, you and I, me and you, we gotta have a conversation off camera because, there's a lot of shit that we need. It's just some stuff that we need to talk about. But it didn't happen that way. She just let it all hang out. And the brat just sat there and was like, she was listening. I'm like, she ain't gonna have no kind of rebuttal. But this is a family issue. I like I said, I really wish that this happened off camera instead of happening on camera. Lisa kept it real. I will say that much. She definitely kept it real and 100 with us. But I definitely do wish that, she had just been like, what, me and my sister, she could have said, right now, we're not in the best place with each other, but, that's still my sister. I still love her. But, and thank you for coming on. But right now, it's just kind of weird. It's just kind of odd, weird seeing you on here wishing me a happy birthday when, we haven't talked in a while. But, once these cameras go off, let's have a conversation, talk about how I feel, talk about how you feel, talk about why you didn't include me in certain things in your life. But nope, that again, like I said, that just ain't what Lisa said or did. Lisa let it all hang out. How do you guys feel about that situation? Because even, with my family, I have some family issues, but I don't think I would ever get on camera and address them. Because I don't think, if my family were big enough, if we were to do a reality show, I wouldn't. There would be certain family members, like if I was a big time person and the network came to me like, oh, we want like the Braxtons, I would kind of probably be like, what, there are certain family members that I will film with, and you will get a good show. We'll have fun. You won't get any, there won't be any drama between us, but there'll be definitely some fun times. Now, if you want drama, we can go to my other side of my family. I won't film with them. Like, don't have me in the same room with them because it's not going to be pretty. And I would leave it at that. Like, if you want to have a show with them, have it. But me, be a part of it? No. But I won't even executive produce this shit. I'd be like, y'all can have everything with it because I want no parts of it. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And I'm moving on. All right, guys, then in the next story that I want to discuss, it's a very sad story. I think it was last Friday or Saturday, I saw on the Shade Room that DJ Duffy from Basketball Wives, I don't remember which season she was on. I don't remember if I watched that season. I didn't. Or did I? I don't remember when I stopped watching basketball. Well, I do know when I stopped. I didn't watch this past season. Have I watched? When did I? Nope, I did not. Or did I? No, I didn't watch the season that Duffy was on Basketball Wives. I did not. I watched the season after when Evelyn returned to the show, and then after that, I was done with Basketball Wives. That's how it went. My best friend watched the season with Duffy. The only thing with Duffy that I saw was her and Tammy get into that argument where Tammy was ready to fight her. But needless to say, she posted on social media for, she was asking for prayers for her sister, for her friend, Brandy Maxiel, who actually lives here in Dallas. Her salon, it's not far from my apartment. Her salon that she has here in Dallas, it's not far from my apartment. Actually, it's like within a mile of my apartment, I think, because she's in this area. She's in my area. That is crazy. But yeah, Brandy, we all know she's had her battle with ovarian cancer. I believe that's what it is. And, she's discussing on the show, we also know she has her issues in her marriage, which I'm not going to discuss that. But Duffy posted on social media to pray for her because Brandy had come down with a severe case of COVID-19, and she was in a hospital here. And then just before I, finalized everything that I was talking about in the week's hottest topics, I did see on the Shade Room that she had posted that, she was released from the hospital and she is, on the road to recovery. So I do want to say, prayers up to Brandy and her family and everyone who was affected by the situation. So I hope you get well soon, Brandy Maxiel. And that's going to be it for the big topics. And let's go ahead and just jump to the small talk. All right, you guys, in this small talk, the first story that I want to discuss is something that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. It was just weird when I saw it. So Naya Rivera, we all know she passed away, what was it, July? When they found her body, I think it was June she went missing and they found her in the first part of July. So, her sister, now this was kind of disgusting, a little repulsive to me. Now, I get it. You can't help who you fall in love with, but I'm sorry. I just would, my brother, because I have 3 brothers and I have one that's married, I would literally never go after his, if something happened to him, I would not go after his wife. Like, that's just nasty on so many levels. More levels than one. That was shady. I realized that I'm still being, I recorded this twice because the first time I had to take out some stuff that I said. And I still realized that I'm still being shady as shit. But yeah, I would never go after his wife on any level because that's just nasty. It's almost like incest to me. It's not incest, but it's almost like incest because my brother was your husband. You guys have kids. You got kids together, and if he passed away, wow, but now would you want to be in your niece or nephew's life? Absolutely. And you can still be in their lives, but you don't have to be living with their parent and walking around holding hands with them. Like, that's going to confuse that child. Do I call you mommy or do I still call you uncle or aunt, whatever? You get what I'm saying, God? Like, that's just, it's confusing for that kid on top of what he's already going through currently. So that's just not a good look at all. And then let's give some congratulations out. Let's move on from that and just give out some congratulations. Congratulations are in order to 3 people who have given birth to their children. First, Nicki Minaj gave birth to her baby girl. Don't know her name. Usher gave birth to his baby girl. Didn't remember her name. And then the little nigga and the rib, Kevin Hart and Aniko, they gave birth to their baby girl. Don't remember her name either. But congratulations to all 3 of them for, welcoming their baby girls into the world. And then in a bit of sad news, my heartfelt condolences go out to John Legend and Chrissy Teigen. They had a miscarriage, and those photos of her, oh my God, my heart literally sank just looking at Chrissy. I'm like, oh my God. Like, she still had to push the baby out. Like, I really feel bad for a woman when she gets to that point of her pregnancy where she still has to, push the baby out and it's not alive anymore. Wow. Yeah, keep your heads up, John and Chrissy. You guys will both get through this together, and with your other two kids, that is just heartbreaking. Because like I said, just looking at those pictures of her holding the baby, just sad, really, really sad. But you guys, that is gonna actually wrap it up for this week's hottest topics. So, like this video, leave your comments in the comment section below, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification button so you guys are aware when I drop anything else. And to the next one, you guys, do me a solid favor, stay safe, take care of yourselves, wash your hands, and whatever the weather conditions are in your area, stay cool, stay warm, whatever. And as always, you guys, we will do this the same time and the same place. And I will see you guys in the next one, you guys. Bye.